Everyone, Josh here with X's bringing y'all another Reverse 1999 video, and if you guys have not checked it out yet, definitely go check out yesterday's first impression for this game. We're currently in day 2 of the CBT. We've been grinding quite a bit. I've almost completed all of Chapter 3 of Story already. I've done a lot of other game modes. I've unlocked pretty much everything there is for the most part, I do believe. I've been playtesting a lot of things, checking out a lot of different units, checking out a lot of different team builds that I could put together. And with all that said, we're going to be covering the best hero in the game right now, and that is our girl, Lilya, and we'll talk about her in a moment. I want to kind of compare her to a hero that I've used quite often on Outer Plane, which is another turn-based game that we cover here at X's over on our main channel, X's Plays. She is very, very similar to that hero, Noah, and Noah is a top 5 hero since day 1. She kind of reminds me a little bit of her, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into her right now. So we have Lilya. This hero is a star element, I guess if that's what you want to call it. I just usually call them elements, just keep it simple. She's a star. She's a blue hero. Put it that way, okay? She's a 6-star hero. There's only like 10... It's like between 10 and 12 6-stars, I believe, in the entire game. But I've definitely noticed that a lot of the stronger heroes are actually 5-stars. There's a lot of good 5-stars in this game, including some of the ones that I actually have in my current team build. Now, the best team overall that I've seen so far in the game, like there might be some things I'm missing, but I believe it's the reality team. So what I mean by that is this game uses 2 different types of damage. There's reality damage and mental damage, and there's a lot of different units for supporting roles and stuff like that that really are built around trying to build a reality team and a mental team. I mean, you could probably cross streams a little bit and mix and match the team a little bit, but I've seen that a lot of the team chemistry, the synergy, really works a lot better if you're building for a reality team or a mental team. Now, there is a third type of damage, Genesis damage, but that's pretty much true damage in this game that ignores just all defense, basically, because the defense in this game is also going to be reality and mental. I guess you could probably classify that as physical and magical if you're more used to that terminology, that verbiage, if you will. So that's pretty much just a little context there going forward with what we're talking about when it comes to this hero being so powerful. Because, as I said, one of the better teams, if not the best team right now, is the reality team. And she's going to be your main attraction, your main DPS for said team. So let's go ahead and talk about her skills real quick. Well, then we'll talk about some other stuff. In case you're not familiar with the game, some of this might be a bit confusing, so don't worry. You can ask all the questions you need to in the comment section below. I'll be sure to try and help as many people as I can, so don't worry. All right, so let's first talk about her ultimate. A small trick. It's basically a single target, 700% modifier, reality damage. When this attack scores a critical hit, it enjoys leech rate plus 15%. So basically, this can make her somewhat self-efficient because now every time she pops her ultimate, she's going to get a little bit of a lifesteal back. She's going to get some HP recovery for herself, which is really, really good. But you have to score a critical hit. Now, we're going to, talk a little bit more about her critical hit problems that, well, really aren't problems at all. And we'll get into that. And it's kind of more or less why she's so powerful. So, Crosswind Takeoff at level 3 skill, or 3-star skill, if you will. She will do a single target attack, deals 400% reality damage. When performing a critical hit, though, she'll do an extra attack that deals 200% reality damage. That means her ultimate that's already doing 700% at base, she's going to have a skill that can also do similar numbers at 600%. The thing is, though, you're going to be able to crit on the 400%, which will allow you to do the 200%, which you can also crit on again. And it's also regarded as an extra action, which could make sense, or I'm sorry, it could be more useful depending what type of mechanic or team you're building. That extra action could kind of play a role there. So this is really, really big because she basically at 3-star for this skill, she basically is rocking with like 2 ultimates in her skill set here, which is absolutely insane, right? That's a lot of damage. And then on her other skill here, at 3-star, she does a mass attack. Now, when they say mass attack, that means AoE. Now, for this particular skill, it's going to be a semi-AoE because it's only 2 targets and not the entire enemy squad. So you definitely want to make sure you're paying attention to that. Deals 375% reality damage to 2 enemies. So again, lots of damage there, big modifiers on her skill set. And when you incite her, now they call it insight in this game, but it's basically a limit break. So what happens is when you level your hero up, when you hit your max level, you have to limit break them, what they call insight, and then you're going to gain additional abilities or skills or whatever, which makes the unit even more powerful. And then it'll start you back over at level 1. Your base stats will all be much stronger though, and then you got to level them back up again, and then break them again, level them up, break again, etc. You get the idea. But you want to really try to limit break your heroes, because not only you're going to be able to get higher levels for your characters, you're going to be able to get stronger abilities and skills. So check this out. So at Insight level 1, Insight 1 if you will, for our girl here, when the caster casts an ultimate, critical rate plus 20%. And we'll talk a little bit about what my Lilya's current base crit rate is at the moment. And then, we'll go from there. At Insight 2, which is what I'm working on now, critical rate plus 10% when the caster enters battle. Now that just stays there throughout the whole battle. As soon as she enters battle, she gets 10% crit rate, and that'll be added to whatever her current crit rate is at the moment of, when you get into the game. Insight 3, Side Tube's basic critical rate bonus plus 100%. Now this is what takes her just to another level, right? This is what sets her above a lot of the other units in the game, especially as a DPS. So the importance of this down here, the Side Tube's basic critical rate bonus plus 100%, this pretty much means that she does not need to worry about critting. She's just going to be basically critting constantly, which of course will make her kit work flawlessly and make her an extremely powerful DPS. So what is a Side Tube? Basically, it's this game's version of an artifact or a memory. It's basically the gear system, if you will, in this game. And it's down here. You can see I have a level 1 equipped to her right now, where she's getting attack, HP, reality defense, mental defense, and then you pick up a little ability down here called Incantation Might. I don't really want to call it an ability. It actually is treated as a stat, and we'll talk about that in a moment when we get to the actual stat sheet. So Incantation Might, what that is basically doing here for her is giving her 6% additional damage to all of her skills that do damage. That does not include her ultimate. There is different ones for ultimate, so keep that in mind. And some of the higher tier ones, because this is a 4-star bow, but some of the higher tier Side Tubes will actually have skills or additional abilities as well. So they will actually be able to benefit your character even further. So basically, if you have a Side Tube equipped and you have her at Insight 3, she's going to have a 100% crit rate, which is absolutely bonkers. Very, very powerful for her. Which means that, you don't have to focus so much on getting crit rate or anything like that from other areas of the game like Resonate. Resonate's another thing you're going to be unlocking later on, and you're going to be able to get additional stats from this. As you can see right now, I'm currently getting 9.5% crit rate from this. I won't need that anymore if I'm getting, the 100% from my Side Tube. Just to kind of give you guys an idea. And we'll talk more about that stuff later on in other videos, perhaps. We'll see. But that's just more or less why she's so dang powerful. And if you look over here at your personal stats, because I said I would briefly mention this, you can see we have your attack, HP, reality defense, mental defense, critical technique, which is really cool. I like this because this adds to your critical damage and your critical rate base numbers. So if you see here, 13.9%, and then a 9.5% from the Resonate, and then you're also getting 13.9% bonus from the critical technique. That's a good bit of critical rate already. And then you have your critical damage, which is 150.9 plus the 5.5 from the Resonate, and then the 20.9 from the critical technique. So that's a lot of critical damage. And then we have the critical defense, we have damage bonus, we have damage taken reduction, and then we have the Incantation Might, which I said was a stat. And then we have the Ultimate Might. Now, this is the one that'll boost damage for your ultimates, not your skills. So you see the difference between Incantation and Ultimate. And then we have Damage Heal, Leech Rate, Healing Done, and Penetration Rate. And right here, this will confirm clearly that the numbers in green are actually being added to the black numbers, the base numbers. And they're not, this isn't the actual base over here on the left, even with the green numbers on the right. Some games, they'll still show you the bonus that you're getting on the right, but it'll still already be included in the base number. Not in this game. You have the base on the left, and then the additional stuff on the right. You have to add it together. I know it's a little bit like, why? Don't ask me. I didn't design it. But that's pretty much more or less our girl, Lilya. She is a 6-star blue hero. There's only like 10 to 12 6-stars in the entire game. A few of them are pretty decent, but I do like a lot of the 5-stars in this game. There's some really powerful 5-stars. And just as a quick little reference here, I don't have the most optimal team, I don't think, yet, but I do have a pretty good team. Now, in this game, you're mostly running units of 3. You can also have, teams of 4 sometimes for certain content. The 4th unit is usually, though, an assist hero that can come in if a unit dies. But if we're sticking to just a 3-unit squad, for at least for the sake of today's video, you'll see here that I built a reality team, and I got lucky to pull the units that I needed for it. So I'm rocking Lilya, and then I have my girl, I'm assuming her name is Cornblum, whatever. But you'll see here, she's another reality-based damage unit. She also helps me by lowering stats, so I can do additional damage. She's got some AoEs in her kit as well. So she's a really good sub DPS for me in this team, while also providing more damage for my team overall because of her good utility with her debuffs. And then Sonetto, which is actually a free hero that you get in the game, and so far they even gave me a free dupe of her throughout the story. I'm not sure how many more free dupes that we might get throughout the game's story mode if they keep adding more chapters, etc. But as of right now, where I'm currently at, they gave me a free dupe, which the dupes in this game allow you to skill up your heroes more. It's basically a skill book in a way. It's like basically skill books in this game are dupes, if that makes sense. But she's another powerful hero that also does reality damage. She also does stat increases with her buffs for your team overall, which is very, very good. She also gets really good insights that further allows you to do more damage. But overall, this team is able to debuff, buff, and provide a lot of damage all around reality. So this is currently my reality squad, and I've been looking at some other units in the future, so we might make a future video talking about the reality team, which I still think might be the best team in the game. There is a pretty strong mental team as well, I feel, especially with my girl Voyager here that has counterattacks in her kit. Probably some shenanigans that we could pull off with that, but for now, I'm really liking the reality team, and of course, the lead DPS for that team is Lilya, which I'm really, really enjoying so far. Overall, I think she's the best hero in the game. So we might have to make future videos talking about her and teams that she could possibly be a part of. But that's going to be it for me, guys and gals out there. So don't forget to like, subscribe, tick notifications. Join in the Discord in the description below, as always. And, of course, follow us on Twitter at XSmedia. And I will catch you guys and gals in the next one. Until then, peace.